Okay, so the fourth question, which was given as a class assignment. So what you have here is a half ring. So that's a half ring. Mass of the half ring was given to be m, and radius for the half ring is r. So half ring of mass m and radius r. You have to find out moment of inertia about axis passing through point A and perpendicular to the plane. So that is the first part. And also you have to find out moment of inertia about axis passing through point B and perpendicular to the plane. So there are two parts for this question. We will start from the first part. That is to find moment of inertia for this half ring about axis passing through point A and perpendicular to the plane. So to find out moment of inertia for the first case, again what we will do is we will think of some constructions, because we know moment of inertia for a full ring. So we will try to make a construction like this. We will construct a full ring. So when we make a construction, the full ring mass will become 2m. This mass is m. You are constructing so that the full ring will have mass 2m and radius. What will be the radius for the full ring? Just think about it. Now if you have thought the radius will become 2r, either you are sleepy and you are watching this, or your mind is not fully concentrated over here. See, for the full ring, the radius is going to be r only, right? Whether it is half ring or full ring, the radius measurement will be only r. Mass will change. Radius is going to be just r only for the full ring. Now we have to find out moment of inertia about axis passing through point A. I'll call this point as C. C is the center of mass for the full ring. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, the full ring has mass 2m. I know moment of inertia for full ring about axis passing through its center of mass, which will be mass of that ring into radius square. So I'll write the expression. See, there is a very important thing to note in this. For the full ring, moment of inertia about axis passing through C will be 2m r square, because mass is 2m for the full ring. Right? It is mass into radius square. So 2m into r square is moment of inertia about axis passing through C and perpendicular to the plane. Now for the full ring, C is center of mass. So I can make a shift using parallel axis theorem. And using parallel axis theorem, I can write IA will be equal to IC plus mass of the ring is 2m. Note that very carefully. Mass of that ring into r square. So if you find out I about A for the full ring, this will be 4m r square. Okay, so I about A for the full ring is going to be 4m r square, and we want I about A for the half ring. You know, note that the axis which passes through A divides this full ring into exactly two symmetric half rings. That is about this axis, the ring above and the ring below. They are symmetrically distributed with respect to this axis, the ring above and the ring below. So what I can say is, if I find out IA for the full ring, for the half ring over here, IA will be half of this value. So for the first part, we can easily obtain moment of inertia for the half ring about axis passing through A will be half of this value, which will be 2m r square. But a similar thing cannot be done for the second part, where you have to find out moment of inertia about axis passing through point B. The reason being, see, you can find out moment of inertia for full ring about axis passing through C and shift it parallelly. You will get IB as 4m r square. The IB will be obtained for the full ring. IB for the full ring is certainly going to be 4m r square, no doubt in that. But now the axis passing through point B, this axis does not divide this ring and this ring symmetrically. That is, with respect to this axis, the orientation of this ring, and with respect to this axis, the orientation of the other half ring, they are not symmetric. So I cannot say that for the half ring, IB will be half the full ring. Okay, so that is something which is very important. You have to keep in mind. Then how do we approach for the second part? This is what is very interesting. You have to be very careful while you approach to find moment of inertia about axis passing through B for the half ring. Okay, so I'll just pause the video and I'll restart the recording. I'll erase the board and make another diagram, and I'll just restart the recording for this. Yeah, so here we go. For the half ring, moment of inertia about axis passing through point C and perpendicular to the plane will be m r square, because if I make the construction and consider the full ring, axis passing through C, divides the two half rings symmetrically. For the full ring, moment of inertia about axis passing through C is going to be 2mr square. So moment of inertia for the half ring about axis passing through C will be mr square. Now what I'll do is, for this half ring, I am going to use parallel axis theorem, but keep in mind that C is not the center of mass for this particular half ring. So I need to locate the center of mass for this half ring to apply parallel axis theorem. C is not the center of mass for this half ring. For the half ring, the center of mass is going to be at point O, where the distance between C and O, that will be 2r by pi. So CO is 2r by pi. So this you must know. The location of center of mass for a half ring is going to be 2 times the radius by pi, where r is the radius for that particular half ring. So you can get OB also. O is center of mass. So OB will be r minus 2r by pi, because CB is nothing but the radius. Now we know IC value. For the half ring, IC is mr square. Now I want IB for the half ring. So we will shift between O and C, we will shift between O and B, and with those two equations we will subtract so that the IO term gets cancelled out. Moment of inertia about axis passing through O, that will get cancelled out. See, I'll just write it and explain. The moment of inertia about axis passing through C, using parallel axis theorem, O is center of mass. So this will be equal to IO plus mass of the ring is M into OC square. Parallel axis theorem between O and C. O is center of mass. Moment of inertia about axis passing through B, this will be equal to IO plus M into OB square. Now I have OC value. OC is 2r by pi, OB is r minus 2r by pi. So OC and OB values are known. IC value we already have. So if I subtract these two equations, this IO and IO is going to get cancelled out. So if you do that, I can write a relationship like this. IB minus IC. I am subtracting the two equations. So IB minus IC will be IO will get cancelled out. This will become M times OB square minus OC square. Now OB value you know, OC value you know, substitute IC you know, substitute that also and rearrange, take IC that side and sum it up, you will get IB value. Okay, so I'll just give you the answer for IB. So IB will turn out to be 2mr square into 1 minus 2 by pi. That will be your final answer for IB. So I have not worked it out. So you just substitute IC value as mr square, OB and OC you substitute from these relationships and do the simplification mathematically, you will get the expression for IB. So that solves this particular question. So see you guys. Bye.